Hello and welcome to Making Spirituality Real. Today we're going to have a bit of a welcome back to our reading. I haven't done this in a while, but I've had so many nice comments on my previous readings, so thank you for those who have come to them and pointed out their accuracy. That's why I do what I do. And I like to keep my readings simple when it comes to the questions. I know some people really like to do a lot of fancy titles, but I mostly just give advice that's very much needed for whomever is watching this right now. So if you have found my reading and based on the pile that you pick, you are going to get the exact advice that you need right now from the high dimensions, or however else you want to call it. So easy enough, we have 4 piles, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And of course, after I post this, I'm going to put timestamps in the comments so you can find the right pile. And if you have a hard time picking one, just sit for a while, meditate on which you want to pick. Some people like to pick several. I personally don't recommend that because usually there is a reason why you pick one pile, not another one. So pick just the one that resonates with you the most, and if one is not for you, you can always go back and try to take another one. So without further ado, I'm gonna move on to the piles, and thank you for being here with me. Hello, pile 1. Let's look at your cards. Let's move away the other ones first. Put you in the center and see what we have today. We have Prana in reverse. Oh, this one came to the side. This is intriguing because that usually means something. Let me check. Oh, this keeps falling to the side, which is often meaningful. I'll leave it that way. It's the Raven. I'm gonna have to use a guidebook for that. Shadow. This is a South Node card. It's a Keto card. These two things. Maybe this, for a reason that it's upside down. I always trust the direction of the universe and know I'm being guided. Well, the reversal means probably you don't know right now, sorry, but you know, that's how it works. North Node future, so you have both the North and the South Node, very interesting. Water, Apas, dissolving. Spirit becoming matter, but mostly the water element, which is fluid, cool, flowing, wet, conforming, receptive, binding, liquid, and flux. Warrior. Light attributes strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will. Heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrificing, conquering the ego. Shadow attributes trading ethical principles for victory at any cost. Indifference to the suffering inflicted on others. And the Ace of Swords, which is upright. The Three of Swords, which is in reverse. And the Page of Swords, which is in reverse. Wow. Okay, all 3 tarot cards, all swords, and then we have this shadow issue and this raven issue. Okay, so here we are dealing with a pile that tends to rely more on their mind and has a problem trusting and having faith. And this is not even the type of problems that you're having, it's about the way you approach them. So this is the kind of person that basically does not do that, doesn't trust the direction of the universe and know they're being guided. They think they have to think their way through everything. They think that they have to plan everything, and they think otherwise they're going to be in pain. And if they don't initiate mentally, they think everything is going to fall apart. And this is like so congruent that it's like, that's why I do what I do, because the messages are always so they point in one direction. It leaves me no doubts. And what's happening right now currently as you're seeking this advice, that this is no longer working for you, because these cards, Three of Swords means mental pain and mental struggle. The Page of Swords means that maybe you have tried some even immature ideas of new mental directions that didn't work. But the only one that's upright actually is the Ace of Swords, which is a new beginning. So in a way, you are right now using your thought to steer even logic towards spiritual realms for you. So you're trying to train even your mind to look towards the deeper things maybe can't be explained. And the other reason I'm saying this is the North Node card here with a shadow card. And don't beat yourself up for not doing this before, because with both the nodes showing up here, that means that this is a time when this is meant to happen. This is basically a change in direction that is fated for you. You are meant to undergo this change at this time, and it's okay that you haven't done it before. We're human. This is your path. You're learning how to approach the shadow with more curiosity in a positive way. And you can see how the Raven, which is a very mystical card, you're kind of on the fence on this about it right now, but you are going to learn how to let go eventually because it's fated for you. It's going to be hard, and you're gonna be afraid of it because it's out of your comfort zone, but you're just like so done with doing things the old way that you will just do it simply because you're gonna treat it like it's a new idea. Like it's a new idea, and I don't think you quite feel protected mystically yet, you're not there, but at least you're ready to try. However, I think that unexpectedly so, once you get into this, you will feel that you're learning how to be more receptive. This could also be a piece of advice to take more baths maybe, or practice some water magic and learn to be like water, more fluid, more receiving and more flexible, not so rigid mentally to how you think life should go. There's also, I think, a slight praise from Spirit here, saying that one of the reasons why you are so stuck mentally is because you think that your skills and your mental will are the only things that will keep you going. However, the shadow attributes say that because you have abandoned feeling by now, you have become too rigid, which can cause what says here indifference to the suffering inflicted on others. So by becoming more like water, by having this mental anguish, you are becoming more open emotionally at the same time. The intellectual openness is linked to the openness of the heart. And another card that again also fits the picture very well is prana, and it's in reverse. Prana is the sacred breath people do in meditative practices. It's the ability to flow in breath with the universe. Here it's in reverse, which means that again it shows the struggle that you've been having. You're just on the brink of starting this. So again, if you are new to this, to the realm of feeling, don't beat yourself up. I feel like this is kind of a collective energy, at least if you're reading, like watching this when I'm posting, that it's a very big opening for a lot of people is happening right now, but you may watch this in the future, so whenever you're watching this is when this is happening for you. I'm actually going to open the guidebook for prana because I love the Yogic Path guidebook, and I'll see what they say for prana in reverse. I already know the meaning of the card, but maybe they have extra advice which could help you. This under spirituality. Prana, subtle essence of vital life force and birth, flexible and creative. There you go. There's this lack of flexibility, this mental element of control. Reverse. Look at your breath and you are looking into your life. Is your breathing shallow, quick and contained, rather than deep, slow and expansive? This is what is blocking prana from moving throughout your body. Your breath is a signal of how you are feeling, and when you breathe quick and shallow breaths, you are signaling to your body that you are in danger. Simply by breathing more deeply into the belly, I should take that advice myself, right? You are calming down your nervous system and allowing more positive thoughts to come through. Transform your breath and you'll transform your life. To me, this is kind of ironically showing the reason why you even may be searching for spiritual things like this, for the reason that you might have just become comfortable to the point of you having physical and emotional anxiety, that you kind of run yourself into the ground with this. But ironically enough, it's a good thing. It's a good thing that will lead you towards something better. And there's kind of a praise of your character, that whatever you were doing, you had good intentions, because the warrior card has an ability, self-sacrificing, conquering the ego. So while you probably did this out of fear, maybe out of some sort of pain, because Three of Swords is a painful card, and self-defense mechanism, I don't think you inflicted maybe that much harm, even out of your pain. So I don't think this pile is going to be wrecked with guilt or something. I think it's more like a way of living that you're embracing that's gonna ultimately make you happier. And as a confirmation for you, I guess that you're not going crazy, that you're doing the right thing by opening your heart. And I guess to give yourself some time, because again, you tend to be tough on yourself mentally, so don't rush it. And I hope that this somehow helped you, and thank you for coming to be with me today. Hello Pile 2 and welcome to your reading. Let's look at the cards that you have today. We have Brahma, Witch, Harmony, but it's in reverse. I honor how I want to feel. This one is upright. Jupiter, Abundance. Rajas, the Creator. Growth, Generation. Anabolic, agitated, selfish, passionate, active, restless, forceful, lustful, and controlling. Visionary. Light attributes capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others. Willingness to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain. Shadow attributes, selling insights to the highest bidder, compromising your vision to make it more acceptable. Ten of Wands, the Tower in reverse, and we got Five of Swords here. Okay, so immediately, whoever is this pile, you guys have a lot of energy in you. And this is not even a quantifier, because some people are born just with less natural energy or thrive more in connection and partnership. Doesn't mean there's something wrong with them, but you just naturally are so supercharged. Whoever you are, you're just powerful, and you may channel this however you want to, however you please, however you do it in your life. So this is a general reading, so I guess there's going to be like many of you that have different life paths, but this is someone that has a lot of energy. I don't know if you are familiar with the concept of human design, but if you are, you may be the kind of person that has like several channels, a triple split even, like someone who's just so supercharged, and that gives you just so much energy, which is someone who's like the opposite of you, because my only strength really is being psychic and sensitive, and by myself I'm not really like the kind of person that would have a very long schedule and be happy with it. So congratulations, but these cards are pointing out that there is a change in how you are using it, and you may prioritize action over your consciousness of the general impact of your life. They say that tall people cast long shadows, and that's exactly how it is. A lot of energy is a responsibility. It's a responsibility for how that energy is used and what it does to the world, what it does to others. Literally every single card here talks about it. First of all, we have Rajas, the creator, with Brahma, who is also the creator, growth, and Jupiter, and the visionary, and the Ten of Wands. These are all supercharged fiery cards, all of them. And Five of Swords, actually, as you can see, this is also a very combative card. So you may be someone who, for instance, can use all this power that you have to be right at all costs. So let's say that maybe because of this power you have been very successful, either materially or when it comes to your ambitions. You could be a teenager who is making top grades at school. I don't care like what level of life you are. It's just that you have felt like this power is giving you a certain entitlement when it comes to feeling like you can use it however you please. But these cards are also pointing out to the problem that you're having. See, even this card, which normally has to, or I guess is supposed to be consoling, says, I honor how I want to feel. There's a certain egotism that comes with your power here. By having so much energy, you feel maybe like you don't have to answer to anyone, because you feel like the will is the power. And, well, the problem here is the Tower in reverse. There's a lack of desire to make certain changes, or to accept that certain things are crumbling, some systems in your life. And then there's the Harmony in reverse. Quite possible you could, a part of you could long for more intimate connections, whether that's family, friendships, or romantic, but you don't really want to put down your sword long enough to maybe stop and, maybe have a weekend off and spend time with those that are close to you, maybe listen to their problems, because you probably just value your own will to power so much. And it's not a bad thing to to be that kind of person, but again, it has to be used responsibly, and you have to fight for the right reasons. By the way, the 5 is the number of Jupiter, so that's also very, very, very congruent. The Witch card tells me that there's also an element of, again, using your power to control maybe even things that you should let go of, because who is the witch? The local witch in the village is someone that little girls or teenagers come to sway the heart of a local boy to their favor without asking themselves if he really likes them, right? So again, there may be this resistance to the natural flow, the natural harmony of life, natural compatibility that exists between all things and people. Even the objects that you own, they have to be compatible with you. You might be more the kind that thinks, if I want it, I'm getting it, because I honor how I want to feel, but you don't really maybe ask yourselves how those things pile how others feel. And again, I'm not even trying to, to make you feel guilty, because, there's an upside and downside how to everyone is. Your power is definitely a blessing, it's a gift. This is just pointing out that this is a time to change certain things, because the Tower is a Saturnian card. Without compromising your talents or integrity at the same time, learning how to be in harmony. I think this in this deck, the 6 is the Lovers, if I'm not mistaken. So this can show basically this lack of willingness to compromise, even when it's warranted objectively. At the same time, this is also pointing out that that maybe your vision, which at the beginning was making you a pioneer, like I said, a lot of energy, capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others. This is a good thing, like I said, that you have this power. But then the shadow attributes say that you're compromising your vision to make it more acceptable. This can also be the issue of Brahma. Brahma, as the supreme creator, has the desire to play with his creations. So in a while he can become unstable for that simple Rajasic reason that he just wants more and more and more without looking at the morality of his actions. And that's where we start sending insights to the highest bidder, just to feel more power, from more gain, from more interactions, more income, more praise, whatever it is that you gain from whatever you gain from. So this may be showing that while initially your power is used for you to be a visionary and be one step ahead of others to help them, you might have fallen into the pitfall of just selling yourself out in some way energetically, which is why this Tower is coming to make sure that you fight for the right cause. Just like a king, or in our times more so a president, exists for his people, your power exists also to help not just yourself, but others. Anyway, I'm going to read from my favorite guidebook because I just love their insights, what they have to say about Brahma. Deities, 121. Brahma, the god of creation, reverse. When you are not creating, you are dying. Brahma comes to you with a reminder to remain in the cycle of creation, for that is the cycle of life. All things are in phases: work, relationships, even identities. When we forego working on these aspects of our life, we remain stagnant, which is akin to moving backwards. What areas of your life have you been overlooking? How can you put in more time and effort to create a new version of what there formerly was? How can you recreate yourself to become a more authentic version of you? Trust that you have the wisdom and knowledge to move forward. This gives us a whole other meaning. If you're looking at the I don't know how I want to feel card, there's a part of you that doesn't even want to feel that that behavior that you had before. There's a part of you that is looking for that harmony because you may feel lonely, even in your achievements in some way. And now is just the time for you to change that particular aspect of your life, because even your creativity is drying up at this point. Even the power, this huge power that you have is in a way going to wane. So because of your inner dissatisfaction, even the creative aspect of you is starting to feel dried up. So this is the tipping point where your lack of harmony, maybe insensitivity sometimes, has already started to sabotage the whole big picture of the power that you have. Because the Tower, just like Saturn, is a boundary. So a boundary is coming into your life to ultimately redirect you in a more positive, more selfless, yet still very powerful fashion. And someone like you don't have much to be afraid of, really, because you just have so much going on for yourself that you will have that. You will return to that, just as long as you find some responsibility in your power. Thank you so much, Pile 2, and I'm happy that you came to my channel. I hope this reading has helped you. Hello, Pile 3, and welcome to your reading. Okay, so the goddess we have is Dhumavati. It's my favorite one. The skeleton key, patience and planning. When I accept the love of the universe as my primary teacher, I will always be guided back to the light. Aries, act. Pitta, mix of fire and water, so transformation. Direct, impatient, muscular, forceful, intense, medium build, always warm, strong digestion, high metabolism. Oh, you guys got 2. Well, that's not an accident when 2 come out. Kapha, earth and water, cohesion, cool, centered, curvaceous, stable, slow, nurturing, sleeps deeply, gains weight easily, and good endurance. Well, these are physical traits of the Kapha body types, but they also have a spiritual meaning, naturally. Student, light attributes: humility and devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning. Shadow attributes: arrogance in the pursuit of destructive knowledge, unwillingness to translate knowledge into action. 3 of crystals. I think crystals are pentacles, so this is a 3 of pentacles. King of pentacles. Oh, and okay, well, you guys didn't get this one, so I'm gonna have to pull it now because I accidentally pulled the guidebook. I wonder what the meaning of this is, because these kind of things happen for a reason. But maybe you don't see something really coming, but that doesn't mean that it's not. How about that? The Emperor in reverse. Okay, so I may understand why the likes of you would come to tarot for a very simple reason. There's a lot of you required energetically in this pile, whatever you do. Because remember, tarot is energetic, it's not just about what you do, it's how you do it. Meaning that there's a lot of balance between certain actions in time that you have been holding on to that may seem illogical. The Emperor up in the upper position is control and logic, because number 4 is the card of Mercury. And it's in a way easier with the Emperor, because the Emperor is his intellect, his logic, his control, his planning. So when he is upright, in a way it can be easier to execute a plan. But when he is in reverse, we don't always have the right plan, we don't have the information, there is something that we just can't do in this area. And we have to stay stable mentally, despite maybe some facts being twisted, or maybe we don't know something, there's something wrong in the mercurial logical control area. We don't have control over certain things. And the fact that you have to balance so many energies, transformation, cohesion between fire and earth, where you maybe there's a situation where you have to balance between things like home and work, friendship and relationship. It's you may have this kind of life where there are two sides of it. So you may be balancing a lot of things that are contradictory at the same time. But also what you can look at is that these cards, the Pitta and Kapha cards, they are actually next to each other, 7 and 8. So they're not as disconnected as you may think. So even if you think that these cards, or more like these elements of your life are unrelated, they somehow do connect to each other, even if you can't see it yet. So this is more, I think it's the most supportive file that I have seen so far. And your efforts are being acknowledged, because this, if I am not mistaken, is the 7 of Pentacles. And I know 7 is a Saturnian number, and this is called patience and planning. So ironically enough, you have been patient and you have been planning despite things that are illogical around you, and despite having a very heavy weight on you. And the reason why you are so open to these situations is that, first of all, you have a mentality of a student. You have this humility and devotion to knowledge and openness to lifelong learning. So you accept these kinds of situations with this openness, and you allow yourself to look at those kinds of things and be like, okay, what's going to come out of this? I don't think that you really here worry about arrogance and the pursuit of destructive knowledge. I don't think this is really your pile, for a simple reason. There's too much Saturnian humility and too much weight on you. People who accept these kind of weights, the Saturnian people, they are often very, they're too humble. And I think it says here we have action twice, and willingness to translate knowledge into action and act twice. I think you may feel like your knowledge is not yet complete. And I think that it's not that you're unwilling to act, because it says here unwillingness to translate knowledge into action, and here we have act. I think it's more that you didn't know exactly how to maybe apply the facts that you have into precise action. You are waiting. You're waiting with your planning. You want to do exactly the right move. You may be kind of too hard on yourself, even with the perfection, but there's a spiritual karmic element here. So I don't know if any of my viewers are gamers, but when I see this skeleton key card, it makes me think of the Elder Scrolls universe, where in these games the skeleton key exists if you join an organization that's called the Thieves Guild. And the skeleton key is known for being a magic lock that opens all doors. So it even kind of breaks the bounds of logic to find you the solution that you need. And together with Dhumavati, who is ruled by the South Node, Ketu if you know Vedic astrology, there's a karmic key coming to this situation for you. And it's going to allow you to act. It will allow you to execute your plan, it will allow you practical actions, because the Three of Pentacles is technically a collaborative practical card. It's people getting together for a project. So it may be a person, maybe a resource. It's going to be an ace up your sleeve. It's going to be something that's going to open the doors for you, and you're going to think that this whole time the universe was watching you, and the love of the universe was your primary teacher, and you will feel like you are guided back to the light. In fact, I feel like the results can be considerable, because you're one of the main cards. Major Arcana is the tarot cards is the King of Pentacles, and this is the highest position you can have when it comes to practical results. So you will actually, out of this whole mess, you will have quite a bit of an achievement. So maybe it's similar to the situation, doesn't have to be that way, but let's say that you are balancing things like education and family, and maybe you feel like you're falling behind, and you're like, oh my god, I don't know how to be a parent and study so hard at the end of it. Especially if you're American, maybe you're struggling with payments for both your family and your college, which can be expensive. Lucky me, that has gone to a free European university, but I know that in the USA and Canada the best schools are all paid. And maybe, let's say, you unexpectedly receive a grant or a scholarship for something that you have done, and it allows you to just take a deep breath and believe that this whole time that you were studying, not knowing how you're going to pay for the next semester, this grant was waiting for you, and you recognize maybe as top of your class or something, because there's an effort that has been put in here. This is not a pile that has been lazy. This is not somebody that has been sitting in comfort and ignoring some flaw. This is someone that largely might have been in the hands of karma, because Dhumavati is the most karmic goddess. She is trial by fire, and this is going to end well. I don't know when you're finding this reading, and I don't know when this is going to find you, but this is going to maybe even end better than you think, because seeing this Three of Pentacles next to the King of Pentacles, maybe you only viewed yourself as this Three of Pentacles, as this gently young lady here that maybe has like a little dream that she cares about, but instead you're going to be the king. You will I feel like all of this is going to be recognized, and it's going to be so surprising, because again, the sudden factor that you couldn't have predicted. I think the one thing that's working against you right now is, ironically, your ability to plan and be patient, because you think, well, I've only planned for so much, so this is all that I'm getting. This is saying that you're not. You are getting exactly what you deserve, and that may be more than you expect. Ironically enough, despite the process, this is a positive pile. It will end well for you. I'm going to read the Dhumavati out of the guidebook. Maybe there's some more information about this. Goddess of disappointment and letting go. Yes, see, this is why it's so difficult, because you have to really let go in a situation that feels difficult and complicated. You have finally realized all of the hardships and struggles you faced were brought on your path for a very important reason. They have shaped you to be the person you are today. You have put together the dots on all the most difficult points on your journey and realized that it was all necessary to be here now. Dhumavati has come to remind you to give thanks to the struggles you faced. They have made you your highest self, the King of Pentacles. The struggles that you have faced, in your case, they're going to have a practical application. So maybe let's go back to the mixing school with family example. Maybe there is a professor or someone that has seen you, ace all your classes, and maybe they know also that you have a child in your private life because you've told them after class at some point, and maybe this person has seen you work very hard despite your opposition the whole time, and not only is going to be character building. For that reason, for seeing your efforts, you're going to have a practical result from this. Not only the character building one that the book talks about, but also a very tangible, solid one, whatever that is for you. Don't get too attached to my scenarios, just one of the ways that I can show you how that can work in real life. So again, this Saturnian vibe here, Saturnian and the South Node vibe is very strong. It's the result really that should matter to you, more than focusing too much on the struggle in the middle. So thank you so much for being here, pile 3, and I hope that whenever you're watching this, the resolution you hope for is going to find you as fast as possible. You don't have to suffer for too long, but again, even if it does take a bit of time, it's going to be worth it, so stay strong. Hello pile 4, and welcome to your reading. The card you have is Kriya. bell, solar plexus chakra. Through prayer and meditation, I create a ripple effect of peace in the world. 7th house relationship. Sattva, the maintainer, balance. Metabolic, peaceful, universal, harmonious, equilibrium, wise, refined, good and truthful, organization. Virgin, maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit. Shadow attribute, fear of intimate union. And tarot, 4 of crystals, that's the 4 of pentacles. Four of Swords, and the King of Wands. My first thought here when I pulled the first 2 cards with Kriya and the bell, I just looked at her figure and I was thinking, wow, she's delicate. I normally don't really do astrology when I do my reading, because there are so many people with so many placements, and you should not get attached to cards. Even this here says 7th house, like this is a general energy. But like I was thinking that this is a very meticulous energy here. Some Virgo Pisces stuff. Currently is not feeling this. The South Node Ketu is in Virgo, but again, this is evergreen. So if you find this at some later point, it may not be the case anymore. I'm just thinking there's a delicacy to the energy of whoever is watching this pile. The mercurial meticulousness and delicacy. And look at how congruent this is. We even have the Virgin. And she kind of reminds me of her, honestly. Like this one is dancing. This one is a bit more closed off. This is the more neutral pile of all the ones that I've done today. It's very calm. Whatever change you're gonna go through, it's going to be the most subtle of all of these piles. I thought so. So whatever changes you are going to go through, they're going to be the most delicate out of all the piles. They're going to be the most balanced, the most organized, maybe the least chaotic out of all the piles that I've done today. The change here, because we have a lot of force and force can be stagnant, could be breaking you out of a certain stagnation and putting you more towards self-expression, especially with the King of Wands. See, your mastery in this pile has made you a certain type of visionary. This is the contrast, the irony of life, that when we become masters and visionaries at something in matters of precision, we suddenly unleash creative powers, and vice versa. To unleash creative powers, you must have enough precision in that department. So this might be a situation that maybe you're, let's say, think of something precise like a ballet dancer, right? And you have been practicing steps for years. If it's ballet, probably since childhood, because ballet requires so much discipline. And it's not like you're suddenly going to have a change of heart, but you, for instance, may have your first big recital. Just an example. I'm using dancing because she looks like she's so open. And this may be an opening between your between you going from that student stage, that thinking, oh, I always have to perfect myself stage, to hearing the call with the bell of, I want to use my perfection, maybe even the mental rigidity, to flow and bring peace and balance externally through expressing it. King of Wands is an expressive card, it's an authority of fire. So your precision in whatever you're doing is turning into passion, and that in turn is turning into someone who is self-expressive and a leader. This here is a relationship which makes me think that maybe one of the reasons why you are entering this stage is that maybe, for instance, there is I'm thinking business here for some reason. I may be, not applying it to your personal life when it comes to detecting if it's a relationship or work, but here I'm thinking it's a platonic opportunity. There may be someone who is allowing you to spread your wings. Maybe someone has, again, seen you practice. So maybe there's someone, again, that has noticed your precision for a very long time. This kind of sounds a bit like the previous pile, but this is precisely oriented towards relationships, so it may be stable. Maybe you will get even a stable partnership to move yourself to the next level on a more creative basis. So you will still exercise those skills that you have with the same purity, but you will show them more to the world. And I think that the one thing that's being addressed here is the fear of intimate union. You might have actually feared even displaying your skills because it might have felt too intimate for you to show yourself in a certain way. So maybe again, you're okay blending in with your class. Again, let's do the dancing example again because I like it because of this image here. But you're afraid to be not just in class where there's maybe like 30 people and your teacher. Maybe you're afraid to be on stage and you have a lot of people listening and watching your precise talent. And this intimate union relationship matters here. So you may even be afraid of being promoted in a way, because the promotion for you may feel like the intimate gifts that you are using are too like something is inviting your privacy. But again, here we have this rigidity. But this card is saying that your skill to your position is so spiritually high that it creates a ripple effect of peace in the world. So you could even entrance your audience with your precision. I don't know if you guys have seen like this famous film, The Memoirs of a Geisha, where the geisha performs kind of like an initiation dance in front of an audience when she debuts, and her dance is very precise and slow, but it entrances the viewers. Some of them are literally speechless seeing the creative expression of her precision. This is what I'm seeing here. This looks a bit like the womb, the creative womb, because of the purple higher vibrational color. So your creativity and precision have a spiritual meaning that you may be taking for granted and have a creative power. And during this time, you are calmly being invited into a relationship, maybe even with the audience or whoever is receiving you, that will gently guide you towards still practicing those precise skills, but just in a different framework. So embrace it, don't be afraid of it, and still be yourself. Just be yourself in front of more people and express it. You don't have to change who you are, just allow yourself to create that intimacy with the relationship with your audience. And don't be afraid of it. I'm going to read the Kriya from the guidebook. I think I haven't read this one before. Is there? No, it's just the yoga thing, I think. Alphabetical is going to be easier. Kriya spirituality. Effortless flow. There we go. You have enough precision to have the effortless flow. This is what I was talking about. Life feels like a river that you are graciously floating down with ease. You are on the path to your dharma, highest purpose, and doors are opening for you. Exactly what I said. Through a certain relationship, doors are going to open for you. It doesn't have to be romantic, like I said. One connection leads to another, and things are moving at high speed. Kriya. Don't feel overwhelmed. This is how life is meant to be experienced. When you are in Kriya, everything requires far less effort. Exactly. You can feel like practicing your precise skills can become more natural. When you are in Kriya, everything requires far less effort. This is where your skills become less precise and more automatic, more in the flow, and that flow allows you to create a ripple effect of peace and allows you to be creative and expressive. The universe is propelling you in the direction of your dharma and providing you with assistance to fulfill the very important role you play. King of Wands, you are more important and more gifted than you think, because you are kind of locked in training your own skills, but you actually can make a difference with the expression of them. Even if it's in a small community, you have learned enough to show something. The universe is providing you with assistance to fulfill the very important role you play. You no longer have to push, but rather can surrender to the greater forces at play. Exactly, because you have so many skills by now. You are so meticulous, because 4 is the card of Mercury, both mentally, because the swords are mental, and practically. You don't have to lock yourselves away. You can just flow with your skill. You have enough mastery. It's like a virtuoso who picks up an instrument. First, he's learning the chords, and then he's playing Mozart, Chopin, or whatever, because he has enough skill. Keep up the flow and don't lose sight of your greater goal, uplifting the vibration of this planet. I create a ripple effect of peace in the world. So one of the elements you're being picked is that whatever you do has a positive impact on the world. Let's say that you have a million salesmen. If you are one, you're going to be the one that actually sells products that work for people. So there's an element of integrity, of purity, the virgin, of integrity and morality to the way you do things. So maybe, you're one of the few honest salesmen left on this planet, or whatever it is you do. Maybe, let's say that you do sports, so you're one of the few that don't take uppers or any substances to help themselves, and you just display this authentic, God-given, inborn skill that very few people have. So there is a spiritual purity to your practical skill, and that's why you're being asked to display it, because such a thing is rare. in this world. So there's a further divine spiritual reason while you are being given the support you're being given so you can express yourself and stop obsessing over thinking that you have to be better. The movie that's kind of this is kind of making me think of also is Black Swan, where she was obsessively practicing control over her skill, but she had a hard time releasing it enough to become the Black Swan and embrace the more passionate side of her to be creative when she became the main lead. Maybe this is not as dark. I see more, you're more psychologically, emotionally balanced than the woman in the movie if you have seen it. But this is the kind of vision that I'm seeing here when it comes to your level of skill. That you don't need to overwork yourself anymore or over-organize. You are enough. That's what matters here. You are enough. And when this chance comes to you, take it with open arms and believe that this is meant to be, not just for you, but for others. Thank you so much for watching this reading, Pile 4. I hope that I helped you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you back again on my channel. Bye-bye.